What is this?
Okay, first of all, my flamethrower is as long as a telephone pole. Like, how do people play with this? Hey there everyone. It's been a while since I decided to actually use my voice for a video. I recently asked some people on Scrap TF to critique my content, so I could precisely pinpoint what exactly I could improve about it. The one thing that is overwhelmingly criticized is my field of view, which is usually set on a value of 54. I think 54 looks normal and less distracting, and I always thought so. However, I should probably stop thinking about what I want and think more about what the viewers want, if I want to improve anything at all. So, for now, that's the first change on the list. Now, let's discuss taunt kills. Now look, I got a couple of taunt kills in the past, not too many though, nothing too significant, but I believe I've seen enough of their performance to make a pretty convincing ranking list with every taunt kill in it. I think the best way to determine each attack's usefulness is through a point system with three main categories: animation length, attack range, and attack loudness. Animation length directly affects how much time you have to kill an unsuspecting player, as well as how spammy the attack itself is. The attack range determines how much room you have to perform a kill, and the sound volume of every taunt attack directly impacts your stealth, since loud taunts are easily detectable. However, there are also additional bonuses for each attack. These are basically unique traits of each attack that further determine how useful it is. These can either be positive additions that can make the attack more potent, or they can be like negative appendages that badly impact your effectiveness. For the purpose of this video, exploits are completely irrelevant. To determine how good each of these four categories is for a certain attack, I'm using a system of 5 points. Making a point system for this length category was a bit tricky. With all things considered, I settled on introducing a unit called average time. This number is the average value from combining the total animation length with how much of that time it takes to perform the killing blow. This seems like the most fair breakdown, so here's a table showing all the final values. The reason this second column has a longer interval than the next two is because even in this final form it only has 2 attacks in it. Range points are awarded if the taunt has longer range, and if it can be aimed, and if it has radial attack. Bear in mind, a majority of these taunts have a range of either 48 hammer units or 128 hammer units. When converted, these values are equal to 91.4 cm and 243.7 cm. Volume points are awarded the less noisy the attack itself is. As for the bonus category, each taunt will start at 2 points and then lose or receive points based on how good the special traits are. If a taunt has no special traits at all, it also removes the possibility of having more negative features than positive ones. That's why every attack will start with 2 out of 5 bonus points. And with that being said, I think it's only fair to start going through these taunts in class order. The home run takes 5 seconds to execute, it has low range, and it's completely silent. Not very promising, to say the least. These downsides can be somewhat negated with the fact that you can drink a can of bonk and kill people while invulnerable, but that's only a temporary and very minor bonus. The Kamikaze taunt is my personal favorite, although it's not the best one overall. It takes 4 seconds to execute. Regarding its reach, it's somewhere in between those 48 and 128 hammer units that I mentioned earlier. I don't know the exact number, but the wiki approximates its range to 6 feet, which is around 183 centimeters. Unlike most other taunts, it's radial. This means that you can damage people all around you as long as they're close enough. The volume is not too loud either. It can destroy buildings as a small bonus, but the major downside is that you can only do it once since you end up killing yourself. This can be negated with a battalion's backup charge, but unless you're using it after losing a game, that's just a wasted opportunity if you ask me. This is the only instance where I have to take away 2 bonus points for 1 negative trait, because having only 1 shot makes it much harder to get something done. 7 out of 9 classes have a single taunt attack. Pyro has 4 in total. Pyro is also the only class that can have taunt attacks on all 3 weapon slots at once. Seeing how I main this class, it's cool to think that it's also the biggest taunt killer in the game. One last thing that I wanna mention is how the first 3 attacks on this list deal fire damage, which means even if the target survives, they will still be ignited and take afterburn damage, so all of these attacks get 0.5 bonus points. Anyway, let's start. The Hadouken taunt takes about 3.5 seconds to perform, it has low range and it's not too loud. It can destroy buildings and kill multiple people at once. The Execution taunt also takes about 3.5 seconds to perform. It's technically a long range attack, but it can only insta-kill on very close range. It does help that you can aim your attack, and it's also completely silent. Using this taunt does cost ammo though. It also deals slightly less damage than most other taunt attacks, so much so that an overhealed heavy can survive a direct hit. The Armageddon taunt takes 5 seconds to execute, it can damage people in a low range radius, and it's extremely loud and flashy, especially if someone has Pyrovision equipped. It also deals 400 damage, and this number is further divided for every person that is caught in the circle. Although, being able to hit multiple people can slightly compensate for this. Finally, the Gas Blaster. This taunt takes 6 seconds to do, it has low range and it's mostly silent. This is by far the longest taunt kill of all, and it can kill multiple enemies as a small bonus. The Decapitation taunt takes 5 seconds to execute, but only half of that time is needed for the actual kill. It has normal range and it's completely silent. Because it's performed with swords, the kill gives you all the benefits of those weapons it's done with. The rewards on kill include health from the Eyelander and the half Zatoichi, heads from the Eyelander, charge meter if you have the Tide Turner equipped, and whatever else is in the bunch. There's more than one way to harass people as a Demo Knight. The Showdown taunt takes 4 seconds to execute, but the lethal attack is dealt just 2 seconds in. It has a massive range of 500 hammer units, which is equal to 952 centimeters. It can also be aimed wherever you want. It's completely silent until the moment the heavy screams at the end. What makes this taunt much more efficient is the Holiday Punch. A critical hit with this weapon will make any enemy perform the Schadenfreude taunt, which gives you plenty of time to taunt at them and perform a one-hit kill. Apart from Pyro, the Engineer is the only class in this game to have more than one taunt kill at his disposal. The Discord taunt takes 4 seconds to perform, it has normal range, and it's very quiet until the very end when the guitar is smashed. This taunt has no special bonuses. The Organ Grinder has the same range and same length as Discord. However, it's mostly silent and the initial hit stuns the target. This stun is performed 3 seconds after initiating the attack. In that regard, it's a slightly better option. The Spinal Tap takes 4 seconds to execute, it has normal range, and it's unbelievably loud. I don't recall a single situation where I could not hear someone performing this taunt behind a corner. It's a massive giveaway. What's interesting about this is that the first hit stuns the target and gives you 25% Uber charge. The pull at the end, if done successfully, gives you 75% Uber. While this does sound amazing, you have to remember that you're the medic. Taunting in general gets you killed very quickly. Unless you're camping a teleport or attacking a heavy eating a sandwich in a remote corner of the map, it's a suicide mission to use this taunt. The Skewer takes 3 seconds to do. The initial hit stuns the target only a second into the animation, and the killing blow is done just another second later. Stunning someone means that even if they take the first hit and slightly move out of your range, they will still be standing completely still, allowing you to stun them again and complete the kill. I haven't quite touched on this stun ability in the previous two segments, but it's more useful than you might think. It can immobilize ubercharged enemies and bonked up scouts, which renders their invulnerability completely useless. It's only a matter of time before those effects wear off and they just get killed. The fencing taunt takes 5 seconds to do, it has normal range, and it's kinda loud. However, the bonuses are just a load of everything. This attack can kill multiple enemies at once, and it can destroy buildings. The downside of this taunt is how it performs 2 warning shots before the final blow. This is plenty of time to alert a scoped sniper or any other distracted enemy of upcoming danger. Although, it still performs relatively the same as other taunts if you're just camping behind a corner. Let's look at the results. Now I'm sure you're gonna say, "Blue, you moron, there is no way X is better than Y or Z is better than W." I get it, but the results shouldn't be all that surprising. After all, the differences come down to just 1 or 2 points in most of these cases. The simple explanation is how all of these attacks are very similar to begin with. You only ever see major efficiency differences between the best and the worst ones, whereas you need to take a much closer look to see which ones in the middle would be better or worse. There's also the fact that my approach looks at how taunts perform universally and not situationally. So, based on my system of versatility, here's my final taunt kills tier list. So what do you think about all of this? Please leave your comments below, and thanks for watching.